Hey guys, welcome back. It's Claytano. Thank you so much for tuning in as always. And today's video is sponsored by Langrisser, which is a brand new mobile JRPG. The franchise has actually been around since the early 90s, before I was even born, to be completely honest with you guys. But they're finally releasing a mobile version of the game with a lot of nostalgic features, including actual missions from the original Langrisser games that you can access through this mode called the Time Rift. I will be able to show you guys some of the gameplay from the mobile version in today's video. And of course, for your convenience, I will be leaving a link for it in the description below. That being said, let's get into the game and see what it's all about. All right guys, so I just started up the game and I've already gone through a little bit of the tutorial. I feel like there's still a little bit of it left because I'm getting this girl here talking to me saying, "Welcome, adventurer." Now, the game actually has a super in-depth story to it as well, which you guys will learn as you play throughout the game along with it. Of course, with some pretty amazing looking graphics that are that very Japanese style art. Alright, bring on your questions, Lucerus. What would I do if an enemy raided me while I was gathering supplies? I would probably fight back and, slaughter them. Counterattack, for sure. What is the most important factor when creating an unbeatable team? It's hard because there is a lot of strategy in this. This is like a turn-based strategy RPG as well, by the way, guys. So I would say sheer power. If you're more powerful than them, then you really don't need to have that much strategy. However, if you are just not as strong, you're going to need a little bit more strategic versatility and excellent mobility. That's kind of like, that's just something to have a third option there, I believe. So I'm just going to go with sheer power. Always the best option. Heaven. I think I was like, I am God. Wrong answer? To be fair, I was going to say heavens on that last one, but then they gave me the option to say that I am God. I really just wanted to see what she would say. And she just said I see, which is kind of like, I was hoping for a little bit more on that. But what is the meaning of life? Let's go a little bit more conservative on this answer and say to protect the things that I care about. Yes. What makes a hero? An unyielding spirit? I don't really know what that means. Leadership is probably a good one, but I would say courage is probably the biggest one. Because heroes are only heroes because they do stupid stuff and get lucky. But they have to have courage to be able to first do that stupid act that they probably should never have actually been able to pull off. So I'm going to say courage. And lastly, what is truly worth fighting for? I mean, glory is a great thing. My home, my loved ones, all good answers. I feel like you can't go wrong with this one. I'm going to say my loved ones. Okay, so this is actually pretty cool. She's actually assigning me 2 different classes. And the classes, I mean, alone, they look freaking awesome. So I feel like I answered the questions correctly based on me personally. But it feels like almost like Harry Potter, right? Where you answer certain questions and then you get assigned a house. Well, she's assigning me a class. So this one is a hero that's a righteous hero with unparalleled courage. This is a strike class and it hunts down wounded enemies with superior speed. I'm gonna go ahead. I like this one. I don't think I'm actually picking which one. I'm just gonna go ahead and say yes. Let's go ahead and just continue. Let's go. Chapter 1, the prologue. Alright, so this is going to be our first look at the actual gameplay. Now, if you guys have never played a tactical strategy game like this in the past, you basically move your character around the map and different places that you put them give them a strategy above your enemies. So, for example, Almeida says that she is an acolyte class and her magic can attack enemies from a far distance. So she doesn't actually have to be a 1 block distance away from the enemy in order to attack them. So she says, let me attack first and weaken the enemy. Great. We're going to go ahead and click on the enemy that we want to attack. We can actually attack this one back here as well. It is in range. But let's go ahead and attack the one to our east. So she does have to move up 1 space though. It gives her basically she only has 2 spaces of distance. So we're going to go ahead and click attack and see how much damage she actually does. So she almost just completely wrecked out all of the minions for that guy as well. This is a nice little representation of the actual skills and how you use them. So first we're going to click on a character that we want to use, and then they have different skills in the bottom right hand corner. Some of them could be damage dealing skills, some of them could be effect skills. Alright, so now we have Matthew, which is going to be a melee ranged character. So I'm just going to go ahead and have him attack the same group of enemies that we've been fighting with Almeida already, and you're gonna see that he's gonna actually run up all the way till this square right here, so that way he can attack him. So he doesn't actually have any range on him at all. Now he does have an advantage over this type of class that he's attacking though, so again, keep that stuff in mind because it's going to be useful later on in the game when you're fighting harder enemies. Let's go ahead and attack though and see how he does. He should be able to clear out the rest of them, I would assume, which he does. Easy. Alright, so we do have this set of enemies up there. He's not in range of the ones behind us, and he's also not in range of those over there. I'm gonna send Grenier up and attack this guy up here. Alright, so he actually attacked into my Grenier, and it still plays the battle animation, and he lost. So sometimes you have to be careful of who you attack, because if you're just not as strong as they are, you're gonna lose. So keep that in mind as well. But here we go. Matthew, you're injured. Let me heal you. Oh, thanks, Almeida. I appreciate it. So now we're gonna use her skill, and it's going to heal up everybody in this range, or we can heal anybody in this range, really. Let's go ahead and hit confirm. And nice. We get a nice little heal from Almeida. Thank you so much. Alright, we need to bring this guy down into the game because this group of soldiers is coming in from behind on my Almeida, which again, we want to make sure that we protect her as best as we possibly can. And we're just gonna put a shield. Yeah, let's put a shield up right here. Or guard, rather. Alright, now let's actually take Matthew. We're going to bring him over here and attack. Just wiped him out. That was fairly easy if you ask me. Alright, so we are, I believe, officially past the tutorial. I think that was still part of the tutorial. Alright, so here's where the strategy starts coming in. Now this is our second fight, and we have Matthew, again, which is basically a fighter, right? Alright, so this is going to be a good example of how the classes work and which ones have advantages over others. So with Matthew, he's going to have a strong advantage against these Lancers, as Grenier called them, but he's going to have a stronger advantage against those guys on horses, basically. So let's go ahead and hit attack, and you'll see that they basically do a lot more damage, right? They're strong against them. They should do a lot more damage. As you can see, each character has a certain class type. We've already kind of discussed this a little bit, but there's infantries that are going to do better against Lancers, as we just saw with that fight with Matthew. Now, Lancers are going to do better against Cavalry, which we're going to see here in just a second, and then Cavalry do good against Infantry. Now, there's Holy that are greater than Demons, which makes a lot of sense because they, like, you know, they take out the bad from the demons, right? And then there's archers that are greater than flyers, or do good against flyers. And then there's some that have no priorities, and they don't have anything that's they're good against, and they don't have anything that they're bad against, and that is aquatic, mages, and assassins. Now, their priority relationships among the various classes, using priority against class types, can be very effective. So learning this strategy is going to be like the first thing that you probably want to do when you learn the game. This is something that you need to know as soon as possible. Alright, so let's go ahead and take Grenier and fight him against the cavalry. And again, easily takes care of them because they're strong against them. And then for Almeida, we're going to bring her in along the side skirts in order to just kind of support. We don't really want her to start attacking just yet. Although, we kind of put her in a bad position there, didn't we? Sorry, Almeida. I didn't realize that they could travel that far, so I should probably learn that as well myself. But, okay, let's actually... I'm going to move Matthew back towards Almeida. I really don't want to fight him against the cavalry, because I know that I'm going to, like, lose that battle. So I really want to wait for Grenier to fight against the cavalry. So I'm going to go ahead and just put him here and have him stand there. And then I'm going to have Grenier fight against the cavalry here. He should be able to take them out in one fell swoop, which he did. Great. Now, their cavalry is going to come after Matthew most likely because they're good against him. But we should be okay because I have Grenier waiting there to take him out as soon as they finish attacking me. And see, like I said, now it's just basically down to Matthew. He doesn't have any other minions around him. So we're going to go ahead and actually just not attack. If we attack into them, we're probably going to lose and he might actually die. So I'm just going to have him stand right there. That's fine. And he's going to attack the cavalry instead. And again, shouldn't be any problem for him. Should just be able to run through him pretty easily. All right. And just like that, we were able to win the fight and head into the castle because of it. Alright, so now that we've fought a couple matches and you guys have kind of seen the gameplay for the most part at a very, very basic level, let me go ahead and pull up the heroes and show you guys some different unique things about Langrisser that, in my opinion, are super, super cool. So take Matthew for example. He starts off as a rookie fighter, right? Well, you're going to upgrade his class into a fighter, but then it doesn't just stop there. You can actually turn him into a Grand Knight, a Strike Master, a Ninja, a Swordsman, and then into a hero after that. So there's a ton of different ways that you guys can customize each character in the game and really mold them so that way they fit your own personal unique playstyles, which I think is super cool. And then same thing, for example, if we click on Grenier, click on his details and go to upgrade class, we can see that he goes from a Lord into a High Lord, but then he has 3 different skill trees that he can choose from, one being the Highlander. He also has the Grand Marshal that comes from the General, and then also the Bone Knight. So again, a ton of different ways to customize each of your characters. And last but not least, let's go ahead and click on Almeida and see what she turns into. She's actually one of the healer classes basically, but let's go ahead and click on upgrade class. She turns from Acolyte into a Sister, but then she can go to a Bishop, a Saint, a Martyr, and a Priest, and all of them have different unique abilities to go along with them as well. And then on top of all that, after you complete chapter 3 of the main story, you then have additional equipments that you can equip onto your characters to make them even stronger and hopefully give you that edge above your opponent. So yeah, that's pretty much everything that I want to showcase for you guys in today's video. Just a brief general overview of the gameplay and then a little basic strategy to help you guys out when the game does get released as well, so you're not going into it completely blind. But I do want to know what your thoughts are about the game as well, so make sure you guys are commenting down below. Also, if you want to see any other types of videos for Langrisser, comment what you guys want to see in the future. I personally think that the game has a ton of potential. I've already had so much fun just making this video alone. But one other thing that I have yet to tell you guys about is that there's going to be basically like this co-op mode where you can team up with your friends and your guildmates and fight real time and strategize together about how to take down these bigger and more difficult bosses. So I'm super excited for that. I really can't wait for it. But that's going to be it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you to Langrisser for sponsoring this video. And as always, stay soupy, don't be potatoes, and I'll see you guys next time. All right, peace.